It's for three. You betcha.
The pass to Miller outside three. Good. Big block by Olsen.
Fryer in the paint. Now to Holzer. Left corner three. Bang! Bang! Oh!
Ulster Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com. And welcome back here to the Shack and our Irie Insurance pregame show, our first of two EDC Championships games, and we start with the girls matchup as Fargo Davies 21-2 on the season. A big win yesterday against West Fargo to punch their ticket onto state. Will take on the Red River Rough Riders here for the number one seed in the EDC for next Thursday's state tournament, which will be played in Bismarck. Davies 83-40 was their win against West Fargo yesterday, while Red River a 55-41 win over West Fargo Cheyenne. Here's how other games have looked here so far today. We started with our first girls state qualifier, and it was Wahpeton getting the win over West Fargo 74-69, and then West Fargo Cheyenne defeating Shanley 68-51, and that was to punch their spot onto state. So we know that the 4 seed will be Wahpeton, the 3 seed will be West Fargo Cheyenne. This one will decide their 1 and 2 seed for the state basketball tournament next week in Bismarck. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show. We'll take a break. Back with more on yourliveevent.com.
St. John Paul II Catholic Schools is a community inspiring excellence through faith, learning, and service. They have provided a faith-based learning environment for over 100 years in the Fargo-Moorhead area. At JP2 Catholic Schools, they form community leaders as they begin their journey of excellence, beginning with 3-year-old little deacons all the way through 12th grade deacons. The tradition of excellence continues at JP2 Catholic Schools. It is the Deacon Way. Good luck to all athletes from JP2 Catholic Schools.
Making a difference and impacting lives comes together when you study to become a nurse at Lake Region State College. Our nursing program is available in Mayville, Grand Forks, and Devils Lake. Find out more today. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Save the dates for the Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 22nd through 25th. New this year, music from Post-Traumatic Funk Syndrome, the Freddie Justice Hypnotist, the Traveling Escape Room, Nick the Magician for Youth Day, Senior Day, Free Family Friday, the Red Letter Band, the Woodpicks, racing, and so much more. NormanCountyFair.com. The Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 22nd through 25th. It is where summer begins and the fun never ends.
Everybody's gonna be there. Red River Valley Speedway. What a great place to let your heart race. Excitement second to none. Every Friday night you're gonna feel alright. Your destination for family fun.
Friday Night Racing returns this spring. Log on to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com for more information.
Red River Valley Speedway. The fastest high bank dirt track in the upper Midwest.
Let the team at Taxman help prepare your taxes and answer any of your tax-related questions. From financial planning, payroll services, and retirement planning, Taxman focuses on your unique tax, accounting, and consulting needs. For expert, affordable service from accountants that care about you with a combined 200 years of experience, choose Taxman. Open year-round with offices in Fargo and Moorhead. For more information, go online to fmtaxman.com.
Back on our Irie Insurance pregame show, it's coverage of the EDC basketball tournament on yourliveevent.com. I'm Joel Morgan, Chase Miller with you here for game 1 of 2. Well, was actually games 5 and 6 of the 6 full days, but game 1 and 2 of the championship round of this tournament. We'll have the boys' side of this matchup coming your way about 20 minutes after this one. Maybe extend that another extra 15 minutes with the announcement of the all-region team as well as the trophy presentations. But yesterday, Davies kind of making quick work of West Fargo. They led 48-21 at the half, en route to an 83-40 win. They held West Fargo to 27% shooting. They also forced 25 turnovers against the West Fargo Packers, while on their own shooting 46% with 10 made three-pointers. So firing on all cylinders was Davies yesterday. Their motto this year has been relentless,
and they were relentless on both sides of the court in that matchup yesterday. Again, the win against the West Fargo Packers. As for the Rough Riders of Red River, a 55-41 win over West Fargo Cheyenne. They led 30-23 at the half and would outscore their opponent 25-18 down in the stretch in a game where they shot 31% to West Fargo Cheyenne's 27%. Jocelyn Schiller finished with 25 points to lead all scores, 1 rebound shy of the double-double, and then behind her was Riley McQuillan with 11 points after that. Everyone else contributing up and down the lineup, and that win for the Rough Riders yesterday. Well, against Cheyenne, who had just won their state qualifying game not too long ago, they held all starters under double-figure scoring in that victory yesterday to move on to the EDC championship. Let's take another break here on our IRE Insurance pregame show. We got more coming your way next on yourliveevent.com.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most.
See Jared Hansen in Larimore, your agent with answers.
Powerful and playful, delicate and precise, bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family, to provide options beyond the expected, to help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Sanford Health, here for all, here for good.
Let's get real. You're ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. So get ready for the University of Minnesota Crookston. With more than 30 majors, minors, and certificates, you'll earn a University of Minnesota degree in a close-knit community where faculty become friends and friends feel like family. And to get a degree that can make a difference, you don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, ready.
The City of Hillsboro welcomes you with opportunities to build, grow, live, and work in the Hillsboro community. With the City of Hillsboro Renaissance Zone, new businesses and entrepreneurs can use to start a business. The time for you to consider Hillsboro is now. Come see us, make the drive, and visit the City of Hillsboro. Contact city offices or visit www.hillsboro-nd.com. Small town, big opportunity. Experience Hillsboro.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
We are back on yourliveevent.com and our IRE Insurance pregame show. The EDC championship between Davies and Red River. We're send it over here shortly to the PA announcer for the announcement of our starting lineups. And then stay tuned after the game for the announcement of the all EDC team. They'll also name the Senior Athlete of the Year coming up after that as well. Let's take one more break. We'll be back with more on yourliveevent.com.
See your future come together at Lake Region State College. Train for in-demand careers, part-time, full-time, or online. At Lake Region State College, we change lives.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage, our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most.
See Jared Hansen in Larimore, your agent with answers.
Powerful and playful. Delicate and precise. Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family. To provide options beyond the expected. To help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Sanford Health. Here for all. Here for good.
Welcome to Ada, Minnesota. There's much to offer for new residents and much to do once you're here. Medical facility, living community, and assistant living. A beautiful school campus providing quality education. The Deco Center with a 24-hour fitness center. A community of faith with church and youth programs. Auto dealers, bowling, theater, farm implement and agronomy centers. Banks, retail and service businesses, a radio station, and much more. With employment and housing available. Welcome to the City of Ada to work, raise a family, and relax. Contact the City of Ada for more information.
Rock Solid Concrete. Give them a call at 701-238-4523 to get a free estimate on all...
And welcome back here. We'll get your starting lineups between the Rough Riders and the
sophomore,
Eagles.
Number 3, Carly Franks. For Red River at guard, a 5'4" sophomore, number 24, Riley McQuillan. For Davies, a 5'6" sophomore, number 20, Ashton Safransky. At guard for the Riders, a 5'6" sophomore, number 30, Jossie Schiller. For the Eagles, a 5'7" senior, number 30, Taylor Safransky. At forward for the Riders, a 5'9" sophomore, number 23, Hannah Litzinger. For the Eagles, a 5'9" junior, number 22, Ashley Wacha. And at forward for Red River, a 5'11" eighth grader, number 44, Ella Spidell. For Davies, a 6' senior, number 40, Ava Wild.
And that has been your starting lineups. We'll be back with opening tip-off when we return on yourliveevent.com.
For the Eagles, services provided are, but not limited to, decorative stamp patios, decorative stamp sidewalks, new and replacement driveways and sidewalks, garage, shop, and shed pad floors, and residential and commercial flat work. They would love to sit down with you and find a plan that works best for your projects. Call Rock Solid Concrete at 701-238-4523.
And we are just about set to go here as we wrap up our Irie Insurance pregame show. Again, the EDC championship game, girls championship game. We'll have the presentation of the all EDC team coming your way at the conclusion of this one. Then we'll get you set for the boys' side of that matchup for the EDC championship. Rough Riders 18-4 on the year. Davies 21-2, the number 2 team in the state. Everyone set to go. Spidell will take the tip against Wild, and it's won back by the Eagles. Stefransky up court will come to Wild. Stops at the elbow, sends it back over to Taylor Safransky. Over to the right side to Ashton Safransky. Now into the hands of Safransky. Drives, feeds to Wild. Up for two. Ava Wild will open up scoring. And Davies takes the lead. Full court defense coming from the Eagles. A foul call will go against Taylor Safransky. That will be her first, team's first. So 2-0 the score on the United Savings Credit Union scoreboard. Red River trying to inbound the basketball. Long pass gets tracked down by Riley McQuillan. McQuillan will hand this one off to Jocelyn Schiller. Schiller coming off 25 points, 9 rebounds yesterday. Back to McQuillan, 17 seconds and counting on the shot clock. Left side, Schiller looking for an open shot. Comes in on the post, goes back beyond the arc. 3 on the way. This one off the heel of the basket will miss for Robson. And it is Davies' basketball handled by Ashley Wacha into the hands of Ashton Safransky. To Frank's drive, held up. Back beyond the arc to Safransky. Over to Carly Franks. 2-0 the lead for Davies here early on. Again, this is for the EDC Championship and the #1 seed out of the East in the tournament, which begins next week. Ball in the corner, Safransky for 3, hits it. Ashton Safransky hits the 3 and 5 straight points to open up the game for the Davies Eagles. Anna Linsinger looking to inbound the basketball, able to find Jocelyn Schiller. Schiller partially trapped by Franks, will get by. Nice job keeping the ball moving, comes across half court, looks for help. Top of the key, 3 on the way. Good for Hannah Linsinger. Red River able to respond. It's a 5-3 lead still for Davies. Safransky will come to Safransky. That's Ashlyn to Taylor to Franks. Back to Ashton Safransky, who drives across to Wild for her 4th. And Davies with a 4-point advantage. Schiller across the timeline, moving towards the left side. Ball into the hands of McQuillan to the top of the key, Linsinger. Linsinger looks for help, is able to dish it off to Schiller, knocked away from Schiller, goes out of bounds, untouched by the Davies Eagles, and it will be their basketball. 15:55 left to go here in the first half. Inbound comes to Taylor Safransky. Safransky to Ashlyn Safransky to Wacha. Back across to Taylor Safransky, looks at the free throw line. Ava Wild to drive, splits the defenders, gets 2. Ava Wild has 6 points for Davies. 6 of their 9 belongs to Wild, and Kent Remplinger wants a timeout for the Rough Riders. They'll step aside. Back with more on YourLiveEvent.com.
RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We will be holding our Hillsboro Operator Clinic Monday, March 21st. To register, visit planterdoc.com. This clinic will provide the opportunity to brush up on monitor setup and operation of precision planting systems. RDK Enterprises Operator Clinic, Monday, March 21st at our Hillsboro store. We look forward to visiting with you. To see the agenda and register for this event, visit planterdoc.com.
Welcome back on YourLiveEvent.com. Davies a 9-3 lead over Grand Forks Red River for the EDC Championship. First of 2 championship games we'll have for you here this evening as the baseline. Linsinger looks to inbound, is able to find Riley McQuillan. McQuillan cuts towards the center of the court. We'll hand things off to Schiller, the floor general. Schiller averaging 21 a contest. Tries to come in to drive. Held up at the post, tried to send a pass back beyond the arc, and it gets knocked out of bounds. Was trying to find Cassie O'Halloran, who had just checked into the game out of that timeout for head coach Kent Ripplinger. Ball gets inbounded. It works its way to the hands of Schiller, misses the shot. Rebound picked up, put back attempt, misses for O'Halloran. Goes for third chance points, will lose the ball, picked up by Ashley Wacha. Davies has the basketball. It's Safransky into the hands of Ashton Safransky over to Franks. Franks dribbles. We'll send this one back over to Taylor Safransky. Now over to Wild. Worked inside to Ashley Wacha. Fed to Wild, knocked away from Wild. Here comes The Rough Riders the other way. Schiller in the lane, up to shoot, off the side of the iron. Rebound deflected into the hands of Carly Franks. Franks guarded the entire way. Linsinger will steal it back away and feeds to Cassidy O'Halloran, who finds Jocelyn Schiller. Under 14 and a half to go in the first half. 9-3 the lead for Davies, and a steal for Ashton Safransky. She averages 6 a game. That's her first, and draws the foul. Safransky to the line to shoot 2. Foul, I believe, will be at Hannah Linsinger. That's Nowatzki for the foul. Her first, team's first.
And Ashton Safransky's done that to a lot of teams, where you look at coaches across the way, when she gets a steal, everyone's looking, saying, hey, there might have been a little bit of a foul there, but nothing was granted. The nice thing that she does, if we would have a defensive player of the year, I think Ashton Safransky would be all up in that in terms of an award for Fargo Davies.
Safransky hits both shots, the lead at 12-3. 9-point advantage for Davies, their largest. They won both meetings this season against Grand Forks Red River. 87-52, 59-43, both sizable wins. Nowatzki with the basketball comes right side. Schiller drive, shot will miss. Rebound, Ashton Safransky. She has been all over the court in this game. Safransky to Franks. 3, airballed into the hands of Ava Wild. Wild looking for an outlet pass that gets deflected and will go out of bounds. So it is the Rough Riders basketball. Hannah Linsinger will send this inbounds to Schiller. Schiller settles near the logo, now moves right, looks left. Feeds to Jocelyn Schiller, and Schiller will be fouled. That'll be Ashton Safransky. Safransky's first, team second. Taylor Safransky will check back into the game. She will spell Ashton Safransky. O'Halloran far sideline to inbound for Red River, who has not led this game. Inbound pass comes to Linsinger into the hands of Schiller. Schiller drives, loses it on the defensive pressure as she got by Taylor Safransky, and the Rough Rider fans thinking there was a foul coming their way. Instead, Davies will get the basketball back here, and it's inbounded to Taylor Safransky. Safransky to Wacha, work to the hands of Frank, sheds the defender, goes to Wild. Wild banks it off the glass and in. Ava Wild's 8th. She has 8 of her team's 13 points and a 10-point advantage for Davies. 13 minutes left to play in the first half. It's been a fast-paced game here so far as driving Schiller kicks it back beyond the arc, finds Cassidy O'Halloran. Will go back to Schiller. Schiller on the drive, shoots, gets it and one.
Something that we saw a lot yesterday with Schiller was that hesitation dribble, that quick crossover left to right against Grand Forks River. She's not afraid to go between the trees and able to go hard into the paint. The one thing, though, that if you're a Rough Rider fan, this is dangerous territory because this is what Davies does to a lot of teams. They get out early, they get up by double digits, and they don't relinquish the lead.
Free throw good. 13-5 the score right now. Checking into the game was Morgan Hartsey, the sophomore. Rough Riders getting some fresh players out on the court as Wild goes beyond the arc. Bury-in 3 will miss right into the hands of Hartsey. So immediately into the game, she contributes with a rebound. Will come to Jocelyn Schiller. Schiller looking back to drive, will step back beyond the arc. Will move over to the near side. O'Halloran into the hands of Hartsey. Back to O'Halloran. Drives the baseline, will turn it over. It's picked off by Franks. Franks leads Bury-in with the pass, was turning, thinking someone was right by her. It gets by everyone, and it's picked up by Taylor Safransky. Davies able to hold the possession. Wild from the right elbow comes to drive, loses the dribble. Ball was not altered by the Rough Riders, so it is their basketball. Checking into the game, Macy Wielden will check in. Also coming in, Ashton Safransky. And the Rough Riders looking to make a substitution. Emily Robson will come back into the game. Schiller across half court. Will come over on the near side. Now back to Schiller. There's 15 seconds on the shot clock. Schiller takes a look inside to drive, kicks beyond the arc. Here comes a three off the iron. Missed shot for Linsinger. The ball picked up by Safransky. Long pass to Burry, and we'll come back to Safransky to Wheeldon. Wheeldon quickly D'd up closely. We'll go back beyond the arc to Taylor Safransky to reset the offense. 17 on the shot clock for the Eagles. Safransky drives, kicks to Wild, up for two. That is 10 for Ava Wild. She's got 10 of her team's 15, and they have a 9-point advantage. 11-13 in counting left in the first half.
Well, the University of St. Thomas volleyball commit shows you she's got the J as well here in this game.
Ball left side, Robson comes into drive, past Safransky, feeds across the post, and a foul will put Nowatzki to the free throw line. Foul on Macy Wheeldon, her first, team's fourth.
Last 11 games for Wild, she scored in double digits in every contest, so she's really heating up as of late, Joel, and her season high so far for Ava Wild this year. Taking a look back at the 18-point performance against Fargo South on February the 15th.
Nowatzki hits the first free throw, makes it 15-7. Next one on the way will miss. Wild the rebound. And Wild 10 points. As you mentioned, she's been in double figures for that 11-game stretch. 12 yesterday in their win against West Fargo. Pass back to Safransky, goes across half court. And it was Hartsey trying to get it back, but I believe it was touched by Davies first. It will be the Rough Riders basketball. Linsinger, far sideline, ready to trigger this inbounds for the Rough Riders. They, again, have not had a lead in this game. Have been down by 10, and Safransky, a steal, hesitation, shoots, gets it. Ashton Safransky, her 7th of the game, and a 10-point lead yet again for the Eagles. Red River sets the ball in motion. McQuillan off Safransky, comes off a screen. Wheeldon will guard her on the switch. They'll come back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson to Linsinger, to the hands of McQuillan, taken away. A steal for Taylor Safransky, leads Burrian, who will bring it into the corner. Will dribble around, has her teammates go into position. Back to Burrian for three, hits it. Coming off 14 yesterday, she hits the second made three for Davies. They lead 20-7, and Red River wants to take a timeout. We'll be back on YourLiveEvent.com.
Red River Valley Speedway, what a great place to let your heart race. Excitement second to none. Every Friday night you're gonna feel alright. Your destination for family fun.
Friday night racing returns this spring. Log on to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com for more information.
Red River Valley Speedway, the fastest high-bank dirt track in the upper Midwest.
And we are back on YourLiveEvent.com. It is 20-7. The lead for Davies. McQuillan will bring it up court. The Rough Riders have not held a lead in this game. Will come to Hartsey. Back to the hands of McQuillan. Over to Hartsey, 15 on the shot clock. Davies has just been all sorts of movement on their defense as a missed shot for O'Halloran becomes a rebound for Safransky. And the Eagles have control of the basketball. Ashton Safransky sends it to Burrian on the left side, takes a dribble, goes across, finds Taylor Safransky. Nothing inside for Safransky, skips across. Here comes another three that will miss. And a held ball called on the rebound. Spidell brought that one down, immediately got tied up.
It's just been tough. You know, you look at the losses for Red River. They avenged two of their losses from earlier this year against Cheyenne last night, Joel. They really put the defensive clamp down on West Fargo. Cheyenne held the Mustangs to a season-low 41 points. Their last two losses as well as to Fargo Davies. And in those games, Davies won quite handily the first time. Around the second time was a little bit closer, but still won by double figures.
Ball gets handled by Schiller. Drives, misses the shot. Rebound Ashton Safransky yet again. Moves across half court. Up to the basket, gets two, a rebound, and goes coast to coast. All a teammate short as Carly Franks blew a tire at half court. As she fell and just rolled and got right back up on her feet, ready to get on the offense. But at that point, Safranski had already hit the bucket to make it 22-7. O'Halloran with the basketball. Taking a look inside, able to find Hendrickson. Back over to Schiller. Schiller for a contested three, off the backboard. Rebound, Spidell, and she got tied up with Wacha. And the possession arrow favors Davies.
Davies just swarms Joel defensively. I mean, they just play man. They're going to get in your face. They're going to get in your grill. And Ashton Safranski's going to guard whoever the point guard is nearly the entire floor. She's going to know every square inch of where you've been. And it starts with Ashton, and everyone just kind of falls through from her.
And when you watch the way that Davies plays their defense, it seems like just the feet never stop moving. They're ready. They've either made their next move or they're ready for the next move as the ball will go out of bounds, and it will go to the Rough Riders.
That's the one thing, Davies, the only thing they haven't done in program history, they've won the EDC tournament before. They've been here. They've been to a state championship game last season. They just haven't won state yet. For Grand Forks River, trying to do something they haven't done in a while. They've been the bridesmaid, never the bride. They play Davies every other year here in this EDC tournament. They just come up runners-up the last handful of times.
Schiller going to the bucket, held up beyond the arc. McQuillan for the three, hits it. Riley McQuillan hits the second three for the Rough Riders, 22-10. The score, still a lot of big ground to make up for Red River. Red River, 18 wins on the season. Davies, 21 wins, the number 3 team in that final coaches poll of the season. Pass to Wild. She's going to draw the foul. O'Halloran called for her first.
When Ava Wild gets going for this team, you account for shooters for Davies. You account for Marissa Beery. You account for Carly Franks. Ashton and Taylor Safranski don't take a lot of bad shots, Joel. They let the game kind of come to themselves and if it's in rhythm. But if Ava Wild can start putting up 12, 14 a game with 8 to 10 rebounds a game, Davies is going to be a problem next week for no matter who they play in Bismarck.
Wild goes 1 for 2 from the line. She has 11 points, 23-10 the score. Schiller into the hands of O'Halloran. Back up to Linsinger. Linsinger up to drive, guarded by Safranski. Takes the shot, will miss. Trying to go for a putback was Nowatzki. That one just went straight up in the air as she drew the defensive contact. Loose ball picked up by Davies. Safranski to drive, kicks beyond the arc, finds Franks, tried to go back inside to Wild, and a clean steal on the pass for Ellen Nowatzki. Schiller on the drive, backpedals back beyond the arc. Under 7 minutes left to play here in this first half. Shot from the right side, that one is missed by Nowatzki. Davies extends the court, Safranski's shot, good. Taylor Safranski scores her first 2, and 15 points the lead yet again for Davies.
Davies, Joel, they just take good looks. There's a reason why they're the best in the conference at 42% shooting on a game here in the EDC. It's because it looks like that.
And a shot miss for Schiller, out of bounds. Struggling right now is the Rough Riders to find any sort of offense against the best defense in the conference, as Robson will check back into the game for the Rough Riders. Wheeldon back into the game. Burrian also back into the game for Davies. 6:31 left to play in the half. Inbound comes to Franks. Ball comes to Franks. To Marissa Burrian, close in closely. Will come back to Safranski. To Wild, to Franks. 3 off the iron. Wheeled in the rebound. Comes to Franks, but is called for a travel. I honestly think, Chase, that Coach Safranski, I think she has to force her players to score. I think they rather get steals and they rather play defense. I mean, they got some players who can score, but their ability to play defense has just been so impressive. And the Rough Riders struggling to try to figure out what they need to do to get the points.
Marissa Beerian said it as going hard down on the inside as Nowatzki, but Beerian said it last night. They're a team, and they're a team in all facets.
Yeah, and they've all kind of bought into that relentless motto as Wheeldon tries to bring one back in bounds, but instead will bring it out of bounds. The Rough Riders will keep it. Red River has some offensive firepower still on the younger side of things, but they got some players who can score. It's a matter of right now trying to string that together. You're down by 15, not an insurmountable lead, but tough sledding moving forward against a team like Davies, as Wild almost gets a steal. Able to keep possession is the Rough Riders. Back into the hands of Jocelyn Schiller. Schiller takes a look at the shot clock, tries to get a screen, comes off it, comes all the way around, sends one quick pass, missed shot for Linsinger, and the rebound goes to the Eagles.
One thing is what Davies has done is they've made it tough on Schiller right now. I mean, she scored 23 against Devils Lake, 25 last night, Joel, in the semifinals. The game plan's simple if you're Davies and Coach Safransky right now. It's make it difficult for Schiller. If you can do that, you can probably disrupt Red River's offense, and that would force Kent Ripplinger and someone on that team to really have to be the playmaker for Red River moving forward. Schiller just so much for that team, both offensively and defensively for Red River.
Jump ball went in favor of the Rough Riders. Schiller will feed to Linsinger, back to Schiller. Inside of 5 to play here in this first half. And a foul call against Davies as Robson was trying to drive.
Davies foul number 3,
Carly Franks, her first, team's 5th. 4:55 left to play in the half. EDC championship game, or game 5 of 6 on the day. Missed 3 for McQuillan. Rebound to the Eagles. Ashley Wacha with the basketball. We'll go to Ashton Safransky. Back to the right side, finds Burien. Down low to Wild. Wild, the defense immediately collapses on her, but she finds a way to score and gets her 13th. 27-10, a 17-point advantage. The largest for the Eagles.
If you'd have told Kent Ripplinger that you would be down by 17, he probably would have thought Davies would have had about 7 threes by now.
And Franks the steal and the layup. They've done it that way. Points off turnovers. They lead by 19, 29-10. 4:16 left in the first half. Timeout. Rough Riders will be back on YourLiveEvent.com.
The City of Hillsborough welcomes you with opportunities to build, grow, live, and work in the Hillsborough community. With the City of Hillsborough Renaissance Zone, new businesses and entrepreneurs can use to start a business. The time for you to consider Hillsborough is now. Come see us, make the drive, and visit the City of Hillsborough. Contact city offices or visit www.hillsborough-nd.com. Small town, big opportunity. Experience Hillsborough.
From all of us at Enbridge, thank you.
Thank you. Miigwech, and thank you for working on Line 3 replacement.
Thank you to everyone who supported this project.
Construction is complete on a new and safer pipeline that will deliver the North American energy that we all rely on every day. And it's done thanks to the support and hard work of thousands of people. I'm grateful for every single voice of support and every hour of labor put into this project. Thank you.
29-10, Davies leads Red River. 4:16 left to play in the first half. Thanks for joining us. EDC Girls Basketball Championship on YourLiveEvent.com. 67% shooting right now for Davies, 18% shooting for the Rough Riders, and that is the difference maker there, along with the turnovers right now, which the margin isn't that high, but it's the points that have come off those turnovers.
And that's the one thing Davies lives on, his points in transition, and they want to make this a track meet, and they just continue to hound you. Red River, still plenty of time if you're going to dig yourselves a hole. The old adage is better do it early than later, but the problem is, Joel, Davies just runs away from teams. And once they run away from teams, they just keep the pedal to the metal, and Coach Safransky's not going to let it off too much either.
Carly Franks was called for her second foul. That will bring Taylor Safransky back into the game. Jocelyn Schiller looking to inbound to someone, is able to find Hartsey, who takes a shot off the backboard. Rebound, Ashton Safransky. We'll get our complete first half numbers coming away at our halftime report. Don't forget, stay tuned after this game. We'll talk to members of the winning team, as well as get the announcement of the all EDC team, as well as the EDC Senior Athletes of the Year, or Senior Athlete of the Year, Coach of the Year, with our postseason awards. A drive for Safransky, goes back to Safransky. That's Taylor Safransky with the ball, over to Ashton Safransky for 3, gets it. Ashton Safransky is quietly having a double-figure scoring night, 12 points. I don't have the steal numbers in front of me, but she has created quite a few turnovers. She's also been in the mix around the boards. The way this team has played this tournament, and they've had some big-time scorers, yes, but when it comes time to name our Enbridge Energy players or RDK players, Chase, as a drive, missed layup comes from Schiller, and it'll be the Eagles basketball. When it comes time to name those awards, you have to look at every single stat because everyone on this team is capable of doing everything. Foul call will come for Schiller. That is her first, team's third.
To your point, Safranski, 12 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, and definitely working on a double-double.
Hook shot for Taylor Safranski misses. Putback attempt will miss for Ashley Wacha, but she does get fouled. Wacha to the line to shoot 2. Foul call will go against O'Halloran, her second, team's 4th.
And this series history with these two programs, you know, Davies and Red River just seems like every year they've been able to find themselves playing against Davies in a EDC tournament game. Last 10, Davies has won 8 of the last 2 here in this matchup. So just one thing, the Eagles are playing awfully good, Joel. They're playing awfully well. Last year, a program high 24 wins. If they win this contest, this will be their 22nd, and they have a state title on their mind. There's no question about it.
33-10 the score. Ashley Wacha goes 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. 2 minutes, 45 seconds and counting left in the first half. We'll have the boys' side of this EDC Championship Showdown coming up about, let's say, 30 minutes after this one wraps up with all the awards and photo opportunities that the winning team will get. To the victor goes the spoils as Hartsey tries to drive, kicks back into the corner. It's into the hands of Schiller. Schiller's going to need to pull the trigger here soon. To the iron, gets there. She was quick. Her 5th point of the game, 33-12 the score.
That's what we saw a lot of yesterday against Cheyenne, that quick movement, able to get to the rim, and then Red River was very active in this 2-3 zone.
Missed shot for Safranski. Ashton Safranski comes away with the rebound, comes to Ava Wild, shot will miss. Rebound two-handed by O'Halloran and will feed to Schiller inside of 2 minutes left to play in the first half of this EDC Championship game. Schiller for 3 will miss. Ashton Safranski rebound and will walk this one back the other way. Knows that they have a nice lead, time on their side. Wild from the right elbow comes under the basket and Wacha knocked down and fouled. That will be against Hannah Linsinger, her first.
The worst foul in the world. We kind of were playing extended there on that high-low game. Gets your chance to reset the defense. But yeah, this is just one of those deals again. Kent Rimblinger, we've gone man, we've gone zone, and they just got to find a way to get a stop here defensively.
Ball gets inbounded. Rough Riders trying to steal this one away. They'll get a jump ball, but it stays to Davies. 1:35 left to go in this half. So our field of representatives is all set on the girls' side here from the east. Well, actually set on both sides. As Burrian shot good. Off-balance shot will become her 5th point of the game, 35-12 the score. So the 1 and 2 seeds will be decided in this game. Cheyenne will be the 3 seed. Wahpeton will be the 4 seed. Huskies going back to state for the first time since 2017 as a steal for Burrian, and the Eagles have the basketball. Wacha beyond the arc to Safranski. She goes to drive, goes back to Wacha, pass a little low, and it's going to be a tie-up. McQuillan got hands on the basketball. I believe it goes to the Rough Riders. It does with 59.3 seconds left to play in the first half.
If you're Kent Rimplinger, you're going to take whatever your game plan was and come up with a new one at halftime. The thing is, though, Joel, against Davies, a 20-point lead sometimes feels like it's a 30 or 40-point lead with how they play defensively.
O'Halloran with the basketball to Schiller. Schiller a contested 3. Misses the shot. Rebound right there into the hands of Ashley Wacha. We'll come back to Taylor Safranski. Now to Ashton Safranski, and she is called for a travel. 33.6 seconds left in the half. Jocelyn Schiller across half court, guarded by Ashley Wacha. Will hand the ball off to McQuillan. McQuillan looking for help. Will dish back to O'Halloran, back to Schiller. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Takes the shot off the side of the backboard, brought down by Wacha. Long pass comes to Safransky. She'll wait till everyone's in position. Shot clock is turned off. Drive from Burrian, sends a pass back to Safransky. 2 seconds left, takes the shot in time, but won't land as our first half is in the books. Here in the EDC Girls Championship, Davies 35, Red River 12. First half numbers next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms, saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage, our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
It's a family-oriented community.
It's a great community to raise kids in a family.
They're a safe place to raise a family, and can go four-wheeling on the trails or kayaking down the river.
Just more than knowing the family that's here, it's getting to know new neighbors.
We wanted to be somewhere that was community-oriented, and this felt just perfect.
From too wet to too dry, we know Mother Nature has the final say on the crop. Count on Irie Insurance to help manage that risk. Irie Insurance has a proven track record with over 30 years of experience as a crop insurance leader. Protect your legacy with the right tools to do the job. Learn more at IrieInsurance.com or by calling your local agent in Devils Lake, Hillsboro, Hope, Mackville, Towner, and West Fargo.
You're protected and appreciated at Irie.
St. John Paul II Catholic Schools is a community inspiring excellence through faith, learning, and service. They have provided a faith-based learning environment for over 100 years in the Fargo-Moorhead area. At JP2 Catholic Schools, they form community leaders as they begin their journey of excellence, beginning with 3-year-old little deacons all the way through 12th grade deacons. The tradition of excellence continues at JP2 Catholic Schools. It is the Deacon Way. Good luck to all athletes from JP2 Catholic Schools.
Welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. Our score here on the half. It is Davies 35, Red River 12 for the EDC Girls Basketball Championship. Let's take a look at some of those numbers here in the first half. Red River shooting 19%, 5 for 26 from the field, 2 for 8 for three-pointers, 2 for 3 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds compared to 21 for Davies, 7 turnovers compared to 9 for Davies. For Davies, 56% from the field, 38% on three-pointers, 4 for 6 from the free throw line. As we mentioned, 21 rebounds. They have 15 more than their counterparts here in this contest. Some individual numbers for Red River. Jocelyn Schiller, 5 points. Hannah Linsinger, 3 points. Riley McQuillan, 3 points. Ellen Owatsky, a point. For the Rough Riders. Ava Wild pacing a double-double here, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 12.7 rebounds for Ashton Safransky to go along with 4 assists and 2 steals. She's working on potentially triple-double numbers there. Marissa Burrian, 5 points, Carly Franks, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and Ashley Wacho with a point for Fargo Davies. So again, Davies with the lead here, 35-12. This is our halftime report. More coming your way next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Making a difference and impacting lives comes together when you study to become a nurse at Lake Region State College. Our nursing program is available in Mayville, Grand Forks, and Devils Lake. Find out more today. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Save the dates for the Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 22nd through 25th. New this year, music from Post-Traumatic Funk Syndrome, the Freddie Justice Hypnotist, the Traveling Escape Room, Nick the Magician for Youth Day, Senior Day, Free Family Friday, the Red Letter Band, the Woodpicks, racing, and so much more. NormanCountyFair.com. The Norman County Fair, Ada, Minnesota, June 22nd through 25th. It is where summer begins and the fun never ends.
Everybody's gonna be there. Red River Valley Speedway. What a great place to let your heart race. Excitement second to none. Every Friday night you're gonna feel alright. Your destination for family fun.
Friday night racing returns this spring. Log on to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com for more information.
Red River Valley Speedway. The fastest high bank dirt track in the upper Midwest.
Let the team at Taxman help prepare your taxes and answer any of your tax-related questions. From financial planning, payroll services, and retirement planning, Taxman focuses on your unique tax, accounting, and consulting needs. For expert, affordable service from accountants that care about you with a combined 200 years of experience, choose Taxman. Open year-round with offices in Fargo and Moorhead. For more information, go online to fmtaxman.com.
Welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com. Our score at the half, Davies 35, Red River 12. This is for the EDC Championship and the number 1 seed out of the East in the girls basketball tournament next week. Here's how the tournament has gone down so far here today in our state qualifiers. It was Wahpeton over West Fargo 74-69. Cheyenne over Shanley 68-51. Still to come is our boys championship game, our boys qualifiers today. First game started with North defeating Shanley 65-62. And then our next contest was a win for West Fargo over Grand Forks Central 79-54. Still to come is Davies and Cheyenne for the EDC championship. We'll take another break. We'll be back with the second half next on YourLiveEvent.com.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most.
See Jared Hansen in Larimore, your agent with answers.
Powerful and playful, delicate and precise, bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family, to provide options beyond the expected, to help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Sanford Health, here for all, here for good.
Let's get real. You're ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. So get ready for the University of Minnesota Crookston. With more than 30 majors, minors, and certificates, you'll earn a University of Minnesota degree in a close-knit community where faculty become friends and friends feel like family. And to get a degree that can make a difference, you don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, ready.
The City of Hillsboro welcomes you with opportunities to build, grow, live, and work in the Hillsboro community. With the City of Hillsboro Renaissance Zone, new businesses and entrepreneurs can use to start a business. The time for you to consider Hillsboro is now. Come see us, make the drive, and visit the City of Hillsboro. Contact city offices or visit www.hillsboro-nd.com. Small town, big opportunity. Experience Hillsboro.
Back on YourLiveEvent.com, 35-12. Red River leads Davies here. Davies leads Red River here in the EDC Girls Basketball Championship game on YourLiveEvent.com. We'll have, after this, here's the plan. We'll have our post-game. We'll give our post-game accolades And then we'll have the announcement of the all-region team, region postseason awards, and we'll get a chance to talk to some of the members of this EDC championship team, whoever that may be, when this one becomes final. Now, the way Davies is looking, they've made it really hard for Red River to try to cut into that deficit. 23 points against the number 3 team in the state.
There's no doubt there's work to be done for Red River, but you have 18 minutes. First things first, win the first 3-4 minutes, Joel. Try to cut into that deficit, get this thing down to 18 points in the next 4 minutes, then try to get it down to 12 points, at the 10-minute mark. And if you can do that, you'll give yourself an opportunity to try to come out and have a chance to, at the end of this game, to try to win the EDC tournament.
Inbound goes to Safransky. Thought about the shot. Defense collapse on her. Goes to Ava Wild. Wild will be fouled by Emily Robson. Wild, 13 points in the first half. You make it like a cross country, like you're running cross country, Chase, and the fact that what you're trying to do is you have your paces, right? You go, okay, if the score's at this point in this minute marker of the game, we're good. If it's at this score at the minute marker, and then when you get to that final, that whatever segment, your final segment, that's when things are going to have to go wild. As Wild, speaking of Wild, Ava Wild hits both, 37-12. So you're trying to run a cross-country meet, though, against a team that wants to make this a track meet.
And that's the problem is, every little thing that Red River has to do well, they have to perform extremely well here in this second half. If there is a time to have a bad game, obviously you don't want to have it in the EDC championship, but if there is a time to do it, if you're in search of a state title, this is the last game to do it.
Safransky gets the rebound up to shoot and gets it. 4 straight to open the second half for Davies, 39-12 the score. Schiller comes back over on the near side. Davies, or rather Red River, a very talented team, and they just need to have some big stretches here as a missed shot on the drive for Linsinger and a rebound for the Eagles. Safransky comes to the left block, finds Safransky back beyond the arc to Wacha. Over on the near side, Franks, handled by Taylor Safransky. Pass to Wacha, she's going to be fouled. Ashley Wacha will get 2 free throws.
And update for you, Joel, out west in the WDA tournament between number 1 Century, number 2 Minot. It's Bismarck Century with a 27-18 advantage right now with 6:10 left to play in the first half.
And first free throw is good for Wacha. Look at the offensive numbers that were put out last night for Red River. They are capable of scoring in bunches, and second free throw is good. You had 11 from McQuillan last night. Schiller with 25. Hartsey with 6. Nowatzki with 9. Had some big scoring coming off the bench. They're just going to need to get some stops on the other end on top of that. As Schiller brings it to the corner. Back beyond the arc, 14 seconds on the shot clock, guarded by Safransky. Will come to Robson, back to Safransky, to the near side, Linsinger to the corner, McQuillan. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. McQuillan looking for a pass, is able to find Spidell, but just out of time.
Grand Forks Red River, Joel, their season low, ironically, to Fargo Davies. The last time they played, that was just 43 points. And the way that's going right now, if you're Kent Ripplinger, it's almost one of those games. You know what? If we're going to have a bad game, let's have it now. Let's get back to Grand Forks, have a couple good practices before we get to the central part of the state, and get ready for whoever we're going to have to go up against.
Safransky drives, will hit the 2. That is 16 for Safransky. 43-12 the score, under 16 minutes left to play. Schiller able to feed right side. Robson back to the hands of Linsinger. Impressive what Red River has been able to do this season, as a foul will be called against Schiller, her second, team's third. Impressive what Red River has been able to do, and the fact that they had some big name senior players, big name upperclassmen the last few years, and have been really successful and have gotten younger. And there's some new names in some spots, still able to win 18 games this season and get a trip onto the state tournament. Very impressive about how well Coach Kent Ripplinger has coached up this team. as 2 comes in for Ava Wild. She has 17, 45-12 the score.
Alex Page, Senior Athlete of the Year last year. Kent Ripplinger, Coach of the Year last year as well for Grand Forks Red River. Red River, it's just been a problem. For whatever reason, they have matched up in the EDC Tournament Championship. In 2016, they lost to Shanley by 18. In 2018, they lost to Davies by 5. In 2020, they lost to Davies by 1. There's good and bad of the even years, apparently, Joel, in the last handful of the calendar here. Red River, a quality team. We said it last night. They probably don't get as much attention as they deserve with the consistency of what this team has done. 21 wins a season ago, 17 the year prior, then 16, 18, and 17. I mean, every year, you can almost pencil that Kent Ripplinger's club is going to find themselves to a state tournament. And Joel, they've made it 5 straight now, winning against Cheyenne in 7 of the last 8. I mean, if you talk about a program that is right with a Fargo Davies in the last couple of years and what was Fargo Shanley at the end of their streak of runs of winning state titles, it's been Grand Forks Red River.
Yeah, Red River has absolutely been impressive. And again, just looking at the performance they've had from younger players, and one of them, Schiller, reaches inside against Burien, will get a held ball. That one will go to Red River.
And with this result, Joel, taking a look at what our girls' quarterfinals would look like at state, Red River would play against Bismarck High, and Fargo Davies will go up against Bismarck Legacy on Thursday.
Ball into the hands of Schiller. Schiller moves between the circles. There's been a few of these teams in this tournament, Chase, that have gone to their youth movement and have just been impressive. As a missed shot comes from Linsinger, a rebound into the hands of O'Halloran. Will come back to McQuillan, who hits 2. We'll look at the Wahpeton Huskies, who qualified for state in our first state qualifying game for the girls. Timeout taken by Davies, 14:38. 45-16 the score. We'll take a break. Back with more on YourLiveEvent.com.
For all your flooring needs, look no further than Carlson Customs Incorporated. From tile, Cortex, and laminate flooring, waterproof floors, shower tiles, and carpet, you are sure to find what you need to update or create the perfect feel in your home or business. Locally owned and operated, Carlson Customs Incorporated. Call Todd at 218-531-0176.
It is 45-16, Davies leading Red River. Davies well on the way to becoming the EDC champions and the #1 team out of the East for the state tournament, which will be played next week. Safransky will go to Burry and back over to Safransky, who's trying to clear half court, sends a long pass to Macy Wielden. Wielden on the sideline, able to find Burry and hands it off to Safransky at the circle, guarded by Schiller. Will come over to the right side, Burry. Up to shoot, misses it. Rebound Wild. Her and Wielden fighting for the same basketball. Someone had to yell same team, I think, at some point there in that sequence of events. Wild draws the foul.
The old mine, right? I mean, it's a great movie, Finding Nemo, but I always remind myself of the mine, a little bit there. But the problem is you don't know the other person that you're hitting your right elbow into or shoulder is also your teammate sometimes when you're going up for the basketball, Joel.
It's just react. It's just you see the ball, you put hands there, and you see other hands coming. You're not going to try to figure out who they belong to.
No, not at all.
Unfortunately enough, obviously Davies missed shot there for Wild on the second, but Davies still got the rebound, still got a player to the free throw line and got points out of it, and that's what they were looking to do.
Ava Wild, Joel, I think is an early contention for one of our players of the game here, as she almost got a big-time volleyball-style block here. Again, you just saw why she's heading to St. Thomas to play D1 volleyball in the Summit League, just for a snippet for the Eagles.
I'll tell you what, luckily for Schiller, she was able to hang on to that basketball with that force that came in on her hand in that basketball.
The crazy thing about Schiller is she's 5'6", but she doesn't care. I mean, she's going to throw her body all over the floor. She's going to create some contact. If you wall straight up, it's not going to get called, but because Wild got enough of the body and swatted down, it was a foul. But tell you what, if there's a player to watch out for in the next 2 seasons at the guard spot, because next year she'll be a junior, it's Schiller, who gets on the floor one more time for the Rough Riders.
And that's what's impressed me, talking about younger players in this tournament. She has gone toe-to-toe with players 1-2 years more experience playing in the EDC with a little bit more size, and just a sophomore, their lead scorer this season with 21 points. She's definitely one that's going to make some waves here in the future for this team, and we'll get a chance to really showcase those skills next week at the tournament. She misses a shot, put back attempt, that one will miss off the heel of the basket for Nowatzki. Third chance point and one. O'Halloran will go to the line. Foul will be against Safransky, her second. You know that the EDC only leg of their season has ended, will end here today. And then next week, you get to match up against some very talented teams out in the West.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now as we're growing closer to the half. Century leads by 5 with 2 minutes to play over Minot. Legacy's been a really good team. They were able to knock off Fargo Shanley a handful of years ago with head coach Jim Petrick. Bismarck High has been receiving votes for most of the year. That state tournament, Joel, I think should be a lot of fun next week.
Franks hits the rebound, her 4th point. 48-20 the score. Here comes the 3 for Red River. Good for Lissinger. Lissinger, her second made 3. It is 48-23.
This is what Red River needs, just a better second half. Again, if you're not going to win this game, at least feel like you're coming out with something positive in this contest against a team that quite honestly has their sights and could be your state champion the way that they're playing right now.
50-23 the score. Red River with the basketball. Schiller for a 3, banks off the side of the iron. Taylor Safransky right there for the rebound. Safransky finds Franks, hesitation by Franks, 3 off the side of the iron. Rebound, almost kept in bounds by O'Halloran, and the feet stayed, but the upper body moved just slightly. She'll lose it out of bounds, and it is Davies' basketball. Brianna Hendrickson will check into the game. There's one other substitution, I believe that was made for Red River. We'll get that for you here in a second. Ball gets inbounded, comes to the corner. Safransky drives, and the layup for Ashton Safransky. She has 16.
Safransky, talk about a problem guard that's a sophomore as well with Schiller. Safransky's going to be a problem the next 2 years for all the other coaches in the EDC for Davies.
Schiller holds up on the block, shoots over Safransky. Ball pulled out of the air by Ava Wild, and Wild will be fouled. Nowatzki called for the foul, her second. 12-13 left to go in the game. Ball inbounded to Safransky. Able to find Ashley Wacha, who comes to Wild. Wild layup will miss, and we're going to get a foul call coming somewhere.
Good job by Ashley Wacha, going hard on the inside. She just got tied up with a little bit. They were both going for the ball, and the Watsky's kind of power was almost like a wrestling move kind of coming over the top there with Wacha, who hit the deck hard, but she looks to be all right. Younger sister of Riley Wacha, a Miss Basketball finalist from a season ago for Fargo Davies.
Inbound tip by Schiller, and tries to stay in bounds to get the steal.
So I was working the camera a little bit there, Joel. I was wondering that Schiller might take out her camera.
11:58 left to play in this game. Remember, we'll get the official announcement of the all EDC team after this. Ball comes to Safransky, over to Wacha, who hits the layup. 5 for Wacha. 54-23 the score.
Back to Schiller there. I'm glad our press row has wheels. Our camera doesn't, though, however, so that's what I was more worried about.
Now, we were here last week for the Region 1 girls basketball tournament. This week, of course, obviously for our EDC coverage, we're going to see a foul call come against Davies. That one will be against Ashton Safransky, her second. We've seen a lot of hard plays make their way on to press row. Spidell will check back into the game for Red River. Burian will come in for the Davies Eagles. Ashton Safransky. Nice move! How about that for Safransky? Defends with the best of them in this league. Oh, and by the way, she can score.
Euro Stephanie 1 for 2.
18 points. A quiet 18 points. Make that 20 points she has in this game. I can math sometimes, as Safransky will feed over to Wacha for the long two. Will miss. Ball gets tipped beyond the arc, picked up by Taylor Safransky. Inside of 11 minutes left to play in this game. Safransky will come to Wild to the right side. Ashton Safransky misses the shot. Putback attempt goes straight up. And basketball is taken away by Hartsey. Rough Riders have the basketball. And going coast to coast, Schiller misses the shot. Safransky the rebound will feed to Ava Wild, and Wild the layup.
This team just doesn't quit. It just does not quit. It is 100 miles an hour with the engine open 24/7, Joel, for Fargo Davies.
Timeout on the floor. We'll be back on yourliveevent.com.
See your future come together at Lake Region State College. Train for in-demand careers, part-time, full-time, or online. At Lake Region State College, we change lives.
Buying a new home, but worried about the interest rate and terms from your bank? At First Class Mortgage, we'll find a mortgage that fits your needs. Shopping national banks and other lenders for the lowest rate and most affordable terms. Saving you time and money. So all you need to worry about is enjoying your new home. First Class Mortgage. Our expertise, your peace of mind. Put an expert to work for you. Call today.
58-23, Davies leads Red River for the EDC championship. Davies 10 minutes, 20 seconds away from an EDC championship in the East #1 seed next week in Bismarck. McQuillan with the basketball. Finds Hendrickson, works back to McQuillan. McQuillan into the hands of O'Halloran, drives across the lane, off the glass and in. Spidell, she is the first Rough Rider in double figures with 10. Excuse me, that was actually her first two, pardon me. That was her first two. Saw the line, looked at the line of Schiller. No, that was the first two for Spidell. Makes it 58-25.
On this result, Davies will play at 5 o'clock against Bismarck Legacy in the evening portion of the State Girls Basketball Tournament. Red River would play at 3 o'clock in the afternoon against Bismarck High. They would be on opposite ends of the bracket.
And a held ball, a hard held ball, which goes in favor of the Rough Riders. 9:40 left to play.
Going to be curious, Joel, on our post game to see who is the senior athlete of the year. Some years, you just have a litter of talent, right? You can pick nearly anybody from any given team. This year, there is a lot more juniors, sophomores in EDC girls basketball getting some playing time. And, Addie Wagner, Shrema, Rachel Dolan, I think, are going to be some that should be on the nominee list, going into later tonight.
Davies tries to extend the court. Urian lost the pass. It was picked up at the baseline by McQuillan, tried to throw it back in play, but she was already out of bounds. 9:15 left to go in the game. Schiller will check back in for the Rough Riders. Linsiger will also come back in. $9:15 left to play.
Wagner's going to MSUM from Fargo South. Rachel Dolan just had a really nice career for Fargo Davies. You take a look at Emily Shrema from Fargo Shanley. Her season and her career came to a close earlier in a state qualifier, but she's heading to Minot State. So the senior class, there might not be a ton of them as we normally see, but there's some quality athletes, no doubt about it, moving forward.
Yeah, just some talent in the few who are in the running for that award. As the ball comes left side, Schiller is able to burn Wacha. And Schiller now in double figures with 10. 58-27 the score. Wild comes to drive, sheds the defender, sheds the next, shot off the mark. Rebound two-handed by Linsinger. Rough Riders with the basketball. A feed to McQuillan, dribbles through the baseline and hits a reverse layup.
There's another youthful player, Joel, just a sophomore, getting a lot of minutes for Kent Ripplinger.
Davies tried to advance up court and coming in to steal O'Halloran. Rough Riders get a steal. Ball to McQuillan. Drives to the iron, blocked by Wild, picked up by Safransky. Eagles looking to set their offense. The ball gets tipped out of bounds by Schiller. Some substitutions coming for the Eagles. Ashton Safransky will check into the game. Macy Wielden will come back into the game. I believe also Carly Franks will come back in. 7:54 left to play and counting. A feed to Wielden. Mishandles the pass. Picked up by the Rough Riders. Schiller moving between the circles. Onto the wing, McQuillan, back to Schiller. Schiller up to drive, back beyond the arc. Artsy with the ball, will come to McQuillan. Back to Schiller. We'll have after the presentation of the All-Conference Awards, as well as some conversations with members of the Eagles team, as Hartsey for two will miss the shot. Putback attempt will miss, but a foul call, and Schiller will go to the line. We'll have the boys EDC championship game. Ashton Safransky called for her third personal. It'll be Chase Miller, Alex Quist on the call of that championship game. Davies and Cheyenne. Davies fans got a lot to stick around for here in this game, as the first shot good.
Third straight year that Davies and Cheyenne have met on the boys' side here, Joel, as well.
We'll get a break. It is 58-30. Davies leads. We'll be back on YourLiveEvent.com.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most.
See Jared Hansen in Larimore, your agent with answers.
Powerful and playful. Delicate and precise. Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family. To provide options beyond the expected. To help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Sanford Health. Here for all. Here for good.
58-30. Davies leads. A timeout was taken by the Eagles. Jocelyn Schiller back to the free throw line to shoot her second of two free throws. She made the first, has 11, tries to make it 12. She does. 58-31 the score. Final 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Here comes Safransky. Comes around, will go to Wielden, and pass will come out of bounds. 7:09 left to play. Franks at the baseline, long inbounds, goes to Safransky. Back to the corner, three misses. Put back though, good for Macy Wielden. I think that's how they drew it up. Wielden scoops it up, puts it in for two. 60-31 the score, under 7 minutes left to play in this game. McQuillan up for three, off the iron. Rebound, Safransky, Ashton Safransky with the basketball. Over to the near side, Berrien looking at a deep three, closed in quick by Hartsey. Now back to Berrien, three in. Berrien with 8. 63-31 the score.
Tell you what, the Eagles bench and the Red River Rough Riders bench have been more interested to watch sometimes in the game when there's a big three or an and one. They just go crazy, Joel. Got the dance moves in the whole 9 yards.
Ball on the left side, handled by Schiller. Schiller to the basket, misses the layup. Rebound two-handed by Berrien. Will come across to Ashton Safransky. 15 seconds on the shot clock here for the Eagles. Ball will come to Safransky. Inside to Wild. Wild will give a look. Nice move, shot good. Eva Wild was pacing a double-double at the half. I'd imagine she's eclipsed that here with her 22nd point. 5:30 left to play. Now Wild still on the doorstep, sitting on 8 rebounds. Linsinger over Wild gets 2. 8 for Hannah Linsinger.
No, Marissa Beering, who's a senior, she's been a little bit held in check, but she hasn't had to hit the threes. I mean, once Ava Wild got it going, as Beering says, yeah, I'm in check. That's right. Once Ava Wild got things going, though, Joel, it just opened the door for Fargo Davies to start this game.
Inside of 5 left to play. 67-33 the score. McQuillan will come over to Hartsey. Back to McQuillan. 3 misses. Rebound, Burien. She will settle on the far sideline. Looking to find some help. Finds Ashton Safransky. Wild down low to Wielden for 2. 4 off the bench for Macy Wielden. 69-33. 4:20 left to play in the game.
Well, Davies has been the kryptonite to Red River. The most points the Rough Riders have given up this season to Davies. The first time they met, 87. The least amount of points Red River has scored this season to Davies, 43 the last time they played, Joel. It's, sometimes a team just has it. For whatever reason, it's a tough matchup. Give the Rough Riders for never quitting, for never backing down. They went after loose balls and 50-50 balls just like that one, throughout the contest, even though the score was well in hand. That's a well-signed coach from Kent Ripplinger in terms of his girls continuing to play no matter what the score is.
Here comes a 3 right side. Misses for Franks. Wild, the putback 2. 24 for Ava Wild. And 3:43 left to play. And I believe it's a substitution timeout that was taken. It is. Both teams will start lifting starters as we're down to our final 3 minutes, 43 seconds. So Davies will win their 22nd game of the year. And actually, they will take that timeout. We'll stay right here, 71-33 the score. So Davies will be the 1 seed, 2 seed will be the Rough Riders, and then it will be a 3 seed. The 3 seed will be Cheyenne, with the 4 seed being Wahpeton. So Wahpeton will face the 1 seed out of the West. Red River will face Bismarck. Davies will face Legacy. Cheyenne will face opponent to be determined on Thursday.
An update for you, Joel, out west. Just getting underway in the second half. It's Bismarck Century 39, Mina 29. 16 minutes left to play in the WDA Girls Basketball Championship game.
Douse has the ball for the Rough Riders. Will feed over to Cassie O'Halloran. Again, we're at our final 3.5 minutes of this contest. O'Halloran, a 3 from the corner, airballed, and a rebound brought down by the Rough Riders. Maiden Bergeron got the rebound. Strike that was Ellen Owatsky who got the rebound. Foul called against Davies. Rough Riders will keep control of the basketball. Inbound comes to Hendrickson. Able to feed off to Brooklyn Bergeron. Back beyond the arc. It's a drive for Hendrickson. Held up. Tried to go back over to O'Halloran in a scramble for the loose ball, and believe it's going to be a held ball. Or maybe it will be a foul call. Yeah, it will.
One thing that we haven't really had to talk about too much tonight, Joel, has been the foul situation, for either team. Right off the bat, just a good clean game, getting back and forth, up and down, and that's kind of what you want to see during this time of the year, just to allow these players to kind of find a way to get in rhythm. And now you get some extra girls getting some more minutes here for Kent Ripplinger. And as you mentioned, Coach Safransky pretty much just unloaded the bench moments ago for Davies.
Yeah, and this is the opportunity to reward these players. Chance to play here on the big stage in front of the big crowd as the next shot off the end of the iron, and a held ball for the rebound. And it will go to Davies. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left to go.
I'm curious, I don't know who's going to be Coach of the Year, but I have a feeling Kenyon Wingenbach, first-year head coach for West Fargo Cheyenne, program history, now 20 wins. He's got to be in the running. Senior Athlete of the Year, Addie Wagner from Fargo South had just a tremendous career, second all-time in scoring in Class A girls basketball. Mentioned, Rachel Dolan, and alongside with her, Emily Schramel. We'll see some others as well. Be curious to see who's going to be getting some of those awards later on here, Joel.
Casanante tried to drive, sets it to Vittel. Inside, shot from the free throw line is going to miss for Alex Feldner. And it's a Rough Riders basketball, 2 minutes, 44 seconds left to play. Again, we'll have the announcement of the all-conference team as a three at the other end misses for the Rough Riders. And it'll be Kennedy Vittel to pick up the missed shot. Casanante with the ball. Comes over onto the near side. That was a feed over to Brooke Everson. Now inside on the post, back beyond the arc. Casanante for three. And the eighth grader hits the tray. 74-34 the score, approaching 2 minutes left to go. This one about to become a final. Casanante, the steal, sends a pass up court to Vittel. Shot good for two. Vettel, the senior, will get two. 76-34 the score, inside of 2 minutes left to play. Rough Riders controlling the basketball. Minute 37 to go. Ball now loose near half court. We're going to get a foul call. Two shots coming up.
Kent Rimplinger's club, Joel, they're going to get a tough matchup against Bismarck High. The Demons, a really good team, some senior leading team. But at the end of the day, you never know what you're going to get to state. Is the West really good? Is the East really good? That's the one thing you just never truly know, because there's not a lot of parity that goes back and forth in terms of games against each other for cross-conference games. So right away when it starts, if Wahpeton gives whoever the number one East team from the West all it can handle, if you're an East team, you're going, all right, we can play. If the number one team from the West just takes care of business against Wahpeton, that could be an early sign of, okay, the West might be a tad better than the East, in a particular season.
And both teams have completely cleared their benches here now for the final minute 17. Everyone rostered has been on the court in this game. Feed from the corner. Derringer feeds to the cutter. Phil will get two. 78-34 the score. Now inside of our final minute. So Davies 22-2 on the year. Red River 18-5. Davies 20 games above 500. Weipert attempt to drive into the corner, will lose it out of bounds. Davies will get it with 45.5 seconds left. Talking about a team that in the quarterfinal round of this tournament pitched a shutout second half of their game against North. They've been relentless on both sides of the court and got to feel a lot of confidence going into Thursday's start of the Class B tournament.
A 69-21 win over North, 83-40 win over West Fargo. Joel, Davies, they came to play, and they didn't make it close against anyone in this tournament.
Shot will come off the iron. Staus will miss the shot, goes out of bounds, 17.5 seconds left to play. $78-34 the score. Davies has led the entirety of this game. It's going to be a wire-to-wire win here for the EDC championship. Rough Riders trying to get just some last points, and a travel call. Staus will be called for the travel, and Davies is just going to inbound and wind down those final 9 seconds here on the clock. You can see the players on the bench all smiles as they know they're going to run out on that court as soon as that scoreboard hits zero, and it does. A final here. Davies is the EDC champion, a 78-34 win over the Rough Riders of Grand Forks Red River. So they will now be the number one seed beginning Thursday in the Class A girls basketball tournament. Let us take a break. We'll get set up for the presentation of the All-Conference Awards coming up next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Welcome to Ada, Minnesota, There's much to offer for new residents and much to do once you're here. Medical facility, living community, and assistant living. A beautiful school campus providing quality education. The Deco Center with a 24-hour fitness center. A community of faith with church and youth programs. Auto dealers, bowling, theater, farm implement and agronomy centers. Banks, retail and service businesses, a radio station, and much more. With employment and housing available. Welcome to the City of Ada to work, raise a family, and relax. Contact the City of Ada for more information.
And we are back here as they will announce the all-region team.
Tournament manager Todd Olson, the Fargo Public Schools Activities Director. We would like the following players to please come forward and be recognized as Eastern Dakota Conference All-Conference players. From West Fargo, Mariley Simon. From West Fargo, Chloe Pfau. From Fargo South, Addie Wagner. From Shanley, Emily Schramma. From Shanley, Mesiku Hakim. From Fargo North, Arden Faulkner. From Cheyenne, Maya Metcalf. From Cheyenne, Carson Sanders. From Cheyenne, Brenna Dick. From Devil's Lake, Rachel Dolan. From Wahpeton, Scout Woods. From Valley City, Brooke Egermont. From Red River, Jossie Schiller. From Red River, Riley McQuillan. From Fargo Davies, Carly Franks. From Davies, Ashton Safransky. And from Davies, Ava Wild. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 2022 Eastern Dakota Conference All-Conference team, as voted on by the coaches. The next award is the East Region Senior Athlete of the Year Award. This award is sponsored by the North Dakota High School Coaches Association. The East Region basketball coaches have selected as the 2022 East Region Senior Athlete of the Year from Fargo South, Addie Wagner. Next, we would like to present the East Region Coach of the Year Award. The East Region basketball coaches vote each year for the outstanding coach in the region. This year, the East Region coaches have selected as the 2022 East Region Basketball Coach of the Year from Red River, Kent Ripplinger. Our next award is the East Region Athletic Director of the Year. This award is sponsored by the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. The East Region Athletic Directors have selected as the 2022 East Region Athletic Director of the Year from Grand Forks, Dr. Mark Rarick.
There we go. Announcements of our awards here. One more to name here.
Please come forward to accept your plaque. Red River will play on Thursday at 3 o'clock, and they will play Bismarck, in Bismarck. And the 2022 East Region champion Davies Eagles, please come forward. Davies will play at 5 o'clock, and they will play Bismarck Legacy on Thursday. Good luck to all the teams advancing to the 2022 Class A state tournament beginning Thursday in Bismarck.
And there we go. There's the announcements of our awards here. Again, Davies, the EDC champions. We're going to take a break. Back with more of our postgame next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Rock Solid Concrete. Give them a call at 701-238-4523 to get a free estimate on all your concrete projects. Services provided are, but not limited to, decorative stamp patios, decorative stamp sidewalks, new and replacement driveways and sidewalks, garage, shop, and shed pad floors, and residential and commercial flat work. They would love to sit down with you and find a plan that works best for your projects. Call Rock Solid Concrete at 701-238-4523.
This is Chris Brecken from RDK Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We will be holding our Hillsboro Operator Clinic Monday, March 21st. To register, visit planterdoc.com. This clinic will provide the opportunity to brush up on monitor setup and operation of precision planting systems. RDK Enterprises Operator Clinic, Monday, March 21st at our Hillsboro store. We look forward to visiting with you. To see the agenda and register for this event, visit planterdoc.com.
And welcome back to our post-game show. Again, a win here for the Davies Eagles, 78-34. They are the EDC champions. And let's send this one over here to Chase Miller. Chase.
Thank you very much, Joel Morgan. Joining us now, Ava Wild, a senior in this one. Ava, you got things going on the offensive side early. Just talk about the rhythm that your team came out, not just tonight, but throughout this EDC tournament.
Well, we expected Red River to play a 2-3 zone, so tonight we were practicing our 2-3 zone offenses, and then we just clicked from there.
This team has been a team throughout the entirety of the season. Marissa talked about everyone. It doesn't matter if it's points. It doesn't matter if it's rebounds or steals. Talk about how this team has been from November to now in terms of what you've been able to accomplish.
Of course, yes. Everybody's accepted their role and done their job and pushed each other in practice, starting in practice, and then it just transferred over to games. It was really good.
How sweet is it your senior season that you win the EDC tournament another year, third straight season?
It's amazing. It's very rewarding after a hard-working season, and of course, Tona's brought us all the way here, so feels good.
Going to be a lot of fun. Best of luck next week out in Bismarck, Ava.
Thank you very much.
All right, Ava Wild with us here. Let's go to our teammate now, another senior, as Taylor Safransky is going to be joining us. And first things first, congratulations on winning another EDC tournament title. Just talk about this team from top to bottom and what you're able to accomplish so far this year.
No, we've had a really good season, I think, and we've all come together and done our part on our team. And we've had this theme of being relentless the whole year, and I think everyone on our team has done a great job of doing that, no matter what their role is. And I think everyone just comes together and does a good job.
The biggest thing that you would take away from these 3 games in the EDC tournament, it seemed like defense was there, offense was there, team unity was there. What can you hope to carry over to a state tournament where you guys were at last year, getting to that state title? What do you hope to carry over?
Mostly everything that we've been doing so far. I think that our EDC tournament, we've been coming out strong and just starting right away with our defense, because we like to say our defense leads into our offense. So just starting out and playing good defense, and our offense will usually come by that.
What is this senior class? What's the one thing you want to leave once you're all done? You know you got a couple more games left. You got a couple things of unfinished business, but what's this senior class been like, and what do you kind of want to leave moving forward?
We just want to leave a good program for the people behind us, lead a good example, and just show that we are a good team and stuff like that, and the years to come, they'll want to keep continuing doing that.
Hey, Taylor, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck in the capital city next week.
Thank you.
And again, Taylor Safransky with us as well. Joel, a couple of seniors that win another EDC tournament title. Back to you.
All right, we'll be back with more of our post-game show coming up next on YourLiveEvent.com.
Red River Valley Speedway, what a great place to let your heart race. Excitement second to none. Every Friday night you're gonna feel alright. Your destination for family fun.
Friday Night Racing returns this spring. Log on to RedRiverValleySpeedway.com for more information.
Red River Valley Speedway, the fastest high bank dirt track in the upper Midwest.
The City of Hillsboro welcomes you with opportunities to build, grow, live, and work in the Hillsboro community. With the City of Hillsboro Renaissance Zone, new businesses and entrepreneurs can use to start a business. The time for you to consider Hillsboro is now. Come see us, make the drive, and visit the City of Hillsboro. Contact city offices or visit www.hillsboro-nd.com. Small town, big opportunity. Experience Hillsboro.
Welcome back here to our post-game show. Congratulations to Davies. Again, 78-34. They are the EDC champions and the number 1 seed going into the Class A basketball tournament, which begins Thursday in Bismarck. Some final numbers. Davies shoots 60% in this game. Red River 20%. Rebounds 41-19 in favor of Davies. Turnovers 16-14 in favor of Davies. Some final numbers. Jocelyn Schiller for the Rough Riders finishes with 12 points, 3 assists, 8 points for Hannah Linsinger, 7 points for Riley McQuillan, 3 points, 7 rebounds for Cassie O'Halloran. Ashton Safransky finishes with a double-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds. Ava Wild, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 12 points, 4 rebounds for Marissa Burian. While Carly Franks finishes with 6. Those are the top 4 scorers on either one of these teams. Davies now 22-2 on the year. Red River falls to 18-5. Again, both have more basketball coming their way on Thursday. Time now to give away some of our post-game awards, and we'll start with our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, and that will be Bransky, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals, 5 assists. She helped lead in some big categories there as she gets our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, while RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game will be Ava Wild, 22 points, 8 rebounds in the contest, as she will be the RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game for this matchup. So that will be our final score here. 78-34 will be the final. We'll now have the boys' side of this EDC Championship night that is coming up next, but I'm Joel Morgan. Remind you once again, our final score, Davies 78, Red River 34. Thank you for joining us for EDC Basketball on YourLiveEvent.com.